All right, we have another London war story, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on. The Delhi War in North London. Get money gang versus dumb Africans. But what the fuck? What is this? Okay, let's get right into it.
All right, let's talk Enfield. Enfield's an outer London borough located.
You see what I'm talking about? Like, what kind of name is dumb Africans, bro? Like, what kind of gang is that? Like, that ass? Like, I'm guessing it's a bunch of African niggas, right? But it's like, why name yourself that? Why name yourself that? Get money gang? You see what I'm going with this? Shout out to my London niggas. I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to think that my London niggas starting to put on more than New York niggas, bro. And I'm from New York. I'm dead ass, bro. The story that I seen, that I got recommended, shit is wicked. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas is getting back less than 24 hours, bro. And they going back and forth. They don't give a fuck about life. Niggas is getting 19 years, not giving a fuck. Shit is crazy.
In the north of London. It sits amongst boroughs with the highest income inequality in London. The out-of-work benefit claim rate is also very high at 17% of the working age population. A large proportion of the borough's residents are in low-paid jobs at 28.7% compared to the London average of 20%. Enfield has a relatively high proportion of 19-year-olds without level 3 qualification at 36% compared to the average of 24% across boroughs. Enfield has risen from being the 12th to the 9th most deprived London
this shit like the projects.
2015 and 2019. Just under a third of households in the borough are in poverty, as well as 1 in 3 children living in poverty.
Wow.
We know poverty breeds crime, and wherever there's crime, there are gangs. Let's have a look at the history of Enfield gangs.
This shit like the projects.
DA, aka Dem Africans. Dem Africans formed around late 2006, when a group of predominantly African youths who had come over to London from Congo and other African countries began making a name for themselves in Edmonton. Edmonton being a town in Enfield Borough, by the way. They were one of a handful of youth gangs who were emerging at the time in Edmonton. The others were Red Brick Thugs and Grey Gang. Dem Africans claimed Edmonton Green as their turf. They were prominent around the green where the 3 tower blocks are situated, and also behind the train station on the revamped Barboat Estate. They branded the towers as 1, 2, 3 blocks, and the Barboat Estate was known as 41st. Prominent DA members included Chops, Usher, Black H, G-Man, Negus, Criminal, Puncher, Mega, Riddler, etc. DA's main war was with GMG, a gang headquartered in Enfield Island
GMG,
controlling the Enfield Lock area. Their major other conflict was with Grey Gang, who were allied with Shankstars. Now let's take a look at GMG, aka Get Money Gang, formed around Enfield Island Village. Originally was somewhat of an offshoot to the Black Gang from the same area. A young man known as Chaos was the creator of the Get Money Gang, which originated in 2007.
These niggas look like, bro, this was probably a 2007 flick, bro. This shit look like a New York, these niggas like New York niggas. I thought the nigga in the middle was if you was to show me a picture of these niggas, bro, I would think these niggas is from the Bronx. No funny shit. I would think this is a remobbing DVD shit. 2009 or something. No cap.
Some prominent members include Chaos, Shadow, Combat, Birdie, Chicken.
That nigga like a demon.
In 2007,
whoever that was, throwing an A, he like a demon.
Edmonton had somewhat been peaceful and close-knit amongst this new generation. All the gangs situated there were calm with each other, much in the same way that Edmonton and Tottenham had been close throughout the 1990s. However, this was about to change. On the 1st of January 2008, 18-year-old Henry Balombi, also known as Black H, was attacked by a group of 4 youths in Edmonton as he made his way home from seeing New Year's celebration.
Talk to me.
Black H initially had fled the bus, but was chased by a group who attacked him with a glass bottle, a knife, and a broom.
Damn.
The vicious attack sadly resulted in the death of Mr. Balombi.
Damn. This is why I said New York and London should make more music. They should, for sure. Oh, it'll be lit. All right, so they drilled him. Rest in peace. They drilled him with a broom and a knife. God, sheesh. Rest in peace, man.
The gang responsible were known as the Everstrap Yardmen and were from Tottenham N17.
Okay.
Onique, 25, a Jamaican national, and Jamal Graham, 25, also a Jamaican national, were convicted of the murder of Black H at the Old Bailey and sentenced to life.
Sheesh.
Another man involved, known as Martin, fled the country and started a new life on the run in America After 9 years on a run, he was extradited from North Carolina in September 2017, where he was living under a new identity.
Damn. Yo, imagine going on a drill and then you leave and you on the run for 9 years, my nigga, and then you just finally get caught. Yo, gang. 9 years and you get caught after that? I would be so pissed. Gang, nah, I ain't going. I'm not going to jail. Y'all going, yo, I'm not going to jail. No funny shit. That's all. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's over for that. It's dead over for that, bro. No funny shit. I'm on the, yo, bro. He had a great run. Great run. That's a great run. I'm not gonna lie. Rest in peace to whatever happened. You feel me? Rest in peace to whoever he, you know. But damn, I'm not going to jail, bro. I'm not gonna lie. 9 years. You know how comfortable this nigga was to finally get out. Like, you gotta understand. To get out that comfort zone is bro. It must have been devastating, bro. He was probably in North Carolina chilling, vibing, great food, everything. Shout out to my London niggas. But I heard y'all niggas don't got the best eats. Y'all probably do, but I heard, you know. No, hey, I don't know though. I'm just saying from what I'm hearing. American food, I ain't gonna lie, we got some shit. I'm keeping it a buck. He probably was eating good. He probably had a calm job, you feel me? He's probably cooling. You know what I'm saying? So niggas got his ass, nigga. Brought him back to London, like, yo, nah. Come back here. Where you going? Come here. Damn.
Mr. Marty was the one who first reached Black H and immediately smashed a glass bottle over his head. He wasn't convicted of murder, however, he was convicted of manslaughter and jailed for 11 years. Exactly 3 weeks following Black H's death, Edmonton was rocked by another teenage murder. Louis Baduka,
he's about to come home,
by his street name Usher, a member of Them Africans gang, was stabbed to death on Silver Street near the heart of the Red Brick Thugs territory. As I mentioned earlier, Tottenham and Edmonton had historic ties. Red Brick were associated to the Everstrap gang who had killed Black H, and even after his death, Red Brick maintained ties with a Tottenham-based gang, effectively picking a side. At the time of the murder, Usher and another Them Africans gang member called Mega had spotted Kevin Lewis, a Red Brick Thugs member. They approached Lewis with Usher throwing a punch that knocked him to the ground. This caused Kevin Lewis to draw a knife and stab Usher in the heart, sadly resulting in his death.
Damn!
On the hearing of Usher's death, his father nearly collapsed with shock and had to take medication, while his daughter had to receive counselling.
Wait, but did he beat this? Did Kevin beat it?
Now Lewis, who arrived in the UK from Jamaica aged 14, said he was paranoid most of the time about being attacked and had been robbed 5 times prior in only 4 years. He was carrying a knife and wearing a stab-proof vest, and argued he acted in self-defense. He never met Usher before, he said. He didn't recognize him nor know his name. Kevin Lewis was found guilty of manslaughter and only sentenced to 5 years.
Nigga said 5 years. The nigga's home.
Sentencing brought more misery to Usher's father, who said he had no faith in the
You gotta understand, 5 years for a manslaughter charge, and first off, you killed the nigga. Let's be real. Yeah, you probably defended yourself, but you was in the game, right? You killed the nigga, and you got 5 years? Nigga, you won a Grammy. Nigga won a Grammy. No funny shit. Rest in peace to who he killed. The nigga won a Grammy. That's a Grammy in the streets, bro. That's what niggas don't understand. That's a Grammy in the streets. You body a op and you come home, this nigga's out. He's they treat him like a king on his block.
Criminal justice system after the verdict on his son's killer. Rumors and speculation surrounding the murder by young people in the area had blamed a different gang for the murder, whilst Mega was in hospital being treated for chest and arm wounds. N18 gang members were being blamed by Them African. There was a lot of distrust between the two sides, and Them Africans began attacking Grey Gang. Edmonton gang relationships became more volatile. It was no longer Edmonton, it was clearly N9, Them Africans, versus N18, Grey Gang, and the Red Brick areas. Now back to GMG, Get Money Gang, the new offshoot of the Black Gang. See, in their early days, they were often targeted by members of DA who travelled up to Island Village to rob members of the Black Gang. The younger generation of DA, Young Them Africans, carried on this trend, and the rivalry between the two areas grew. A number of stabbings have taken place between the two rival gangs from 2008 onwards, although many failed to make headlines unless they were fatal, of course. Chaos. GMG was caught lacking on a bus stop and rushed by DA members. Get Money gang members retaliated for this by stabbing up Caution pretty badly. And in the late 2009, a Crime Watch appeal showed the exact footage of the knife attack capturing GMG members stabbing a DA member at Edmonton Green bus station.
Around 10 p.m. on a Thursday night in April, and these cameras pick up a chase between two groups of youths in Edmonton, North London. The 20-strong group is hunting down a member of a rival gang, and as they run through the bus station, they finally catch up with him.
Yo, gang, I just seen like 10 niggas. It gotta be like 10 niggas chasing that one nigga, bro. Yo, they probably drilled him, bro. Damn, I feel bad, my nigga. 4 niggas getting beat up by 4, even 3 niggas. If you get beat up, like, if you could get jumped badly by 3 niggas if they know what they doing. If it's 3 niggas who know what the fuck they doing, bro, you could get the shit beat out of you. If it's 10 niggas that know, I ain't gonna lie, I won't be surprised if he didn't pass away in GTA.
The attackers are armed with baseball bats and knives, and they set about their victim in a ferocious attack, stabbing him 19 times. Remarkably, he survived.
Wow.
The gang who did this need to be caught.
Wow.
There's a £10,000 reward for information leading to the conviction of the attackers.
He survived.
So
Oh, God is on his side.
A string of attacks continued to happen, mainly from Edmonton's side. They were simply the stronger side as they were older and had a lot more members. The GMG crew, made up mostly of young teenagers, were urged by their older black gang members such as G-Man to forget about their conflicts with the Edmonton gang and to concentrate on making money, which goes with the theme, Get Money Gang. See, DA youngers would glide to Albany Park where they would spot Chaos again for the second time. This time D-Rose, Tiny and Negus would stab him up viciously and then proceeded to dash him in a river.
Damn.
Thankfully Chaos survived. However, the attack was so savage that he ended up losing a toe in the process.
Wow.
See, Chaos's brother Ninja would hear of the news. Enraged, he rounded up a few GMG members and they retaliated by stabbing up Sweeps. But he didn't stop there. Sadly, on the 10th of April 2011, GMG members including Ninja, Shadow, Chaos, Birdie, to name a few, decided to glide on bicycles to Edmonton, where they spotted Negus with his brother.
One evening in April 2011, members of the Enfield EN3 Get Money gang cycled south into N9. Their mission to attack Negus McLean.
They on they block. Yo, they are on they block though. Nah. That's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to these London niggas, bro, they don't give up. Yo, it's like these niggas don't give a fuck. It's like these niggas are spinning back to back. Retaliation, bet, we spinning. Oh, you stab my mans? Bet, we gonna spin. 10 deep. Oh, bet. Oh, y'all stab my mans? All right, we gonna spin your block on bikes, nigga. And we gonna catch one of y'all niggas. This shit is real.
Who was a member of the rival Dem Africans or DA gang. Then they spotted their target.
Negus and his brother were chased into this street, but then they both came off their bikes. Negus said to his little brother, run and don't look back, and he was able to make his way to safety down there.
Wow.
The gang caught up with Negus.
I'm not gonna lie, no. Little brother said, run and don't look. Whoever said that, run and no, we gonna fight. Fuck it. Who's with me? Who's with me? Nah, bro, we gonna fight. Now, if it's 4 niggas, maybe 5, I ain't gonna lie. If me and my mans got knives, we gonna get it popping. I ain't gonna lie. We gonna got in GTA, God forbid. And I'm gonna pray to God before it happens, nigga. We gonna get it popping, nigga. Not even on some tough shit. Dead ass, bro. We gonna get it popping, bro. Real shit. Cause you gotta think about it, bro. It's your knife against my knife. One nigga, if y'all rush me, one of y'all gonna get stabbed. In GTA, of course. In GTA, of course. One of y'all is gonna happen. Somebody. I just need one. Even if I go down, I just need one. You got to think about the spots. You got the neck. You got the throat. Huh. You know what I'm saying? You got the eye. You got the gut, stump, chest, all type of shit, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like dead ass, bro. Dead ass, bro. And I'm gonna wait till they swing on me first. So I have all right, because niggas is getting charged manslaughter and they come home 5 years. I'm doing that in GTA. In GTA, I'm doing that. If it's for my safety, I'm doing that. If niggas is getting that time, I'm doing that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If it's me and my brother, I'm doing that, bro. Fuck. I don't want me and my brother to die. Hell no. You gotta respect it.
Him. They stabbed him with such ferocity that the blade snapped off the knife.
Wow. See, they doing shit like that.
McLean died that night in hospital.
It's crazy.
The family spoke of their grief on the BBC's Crime Watch.
Ninja, Shadow, and Chaos all beat this case. On the evening
They
of
beat it?
April 1st, 2013, members of the Edmonton group DA, including Nat Nice, gathered in Bounce
Wait, did they beat it? Am I trolling? Is that what I just heard?
Road. In Edmonton, a dark Vauxhall Corsa drove past, in which Chicken and Shadow of the Enfield gang were riding. Nat Nice and the others gave them a chase. Nat Nice then left and returned later with a bag containing a sawn-off shotgun and ammunition.
Looks like
10
shotguns,
minutes
bro.
later, a black BMW arrived. Shadow and Chicken both got out and began walking towards the best kebab shop in Bouncers Road. They were followed by members of the Edmonton gang, before Nat Nice calmly put down the bag and fired at Chicken, who was unarmed, before chasing him down and shooting him again. Chicken's brother Shadow from the BMW ran across and pointed his gun at Nat Nice's group, but for whatever reason, it did not fire.
The gun jammed.
Most likely it jammed.
It
He got
jammed.
back into his car and drove off. Chicken, who had been hit in the chest, collapsed in the alleyway between Bouncers Road and the car park. Chicken sadly died at the scene.
Damn.
Just 2 years prior, on the same month, Shadow was involved in a murder that saw his op witness his brother die right before his eyes, and now he himself witnessed the same thing. Nat Nice was sentenced to 27 years for murder. One of the members present with Nat Nice at the scene was Tiny. He managed to beat the case.
Yo, these
See,
niggas is
Shadow
being
was
cases
more
out here.
furious at the death of his
Fuck is they lawyers? Who's they lawyers? These niggas is out here being cases like it's nothing.
brother. He spent the following week shooting up Edmonton. Lurking was pretty much a 9-to-5 job to him.
This scene was
his
crazy on Menace
bloodthirsty
Society.
intentions were stopped in his tracks when he was caught by police in the Enfield area. See, Shadow was actually banned from entering Enfield because of his known gang affiliation and the high risk of violence if he returned. These conditions were put in place after he was convicted of affray, violent disorder, and possession of a knife in the London riots back in 2011. Shadow was now sent to Feltham Younger Offenders Institution, and after relocated in a whole new city, the city of Leicester. Shadow settled in Leicester and began doing the only thing he knew, selling drugs. He gained a lot of local enemies for selling in their territory.
Wow.
And on the 12th of September 2013, Shadow had an altercation with a dealer named Ants. It sadly ended with Shadow stabbing Ants to death. Just a few hours after the fatal stabbing of Ants, his friends got a word of the sad news. Angry, they tried to avenge his death by petrol bombing the home of one of Shadow's friends,
What the
Abdul
fuck?
Kareem, but they mistakenly targeted a house just 2 doors away, killing the 47-year-old.
The nigga tried to get back by bombing his man's crib, but accidentally bombed somebody else's house and killed them. You see what I'm talking about? Like, this shit ain't happening in New York, my nigga. These niggas is getting bombed.
Wife of a surgeon, and his 3 children, aged 19,
Damn.
17, and 15.
Wow.
What a tragic event. Just imagine being away from your family, working as a surgeon who spends his life working to save lives.
Rest in
only
peace.
To find out your whole family were killed in the house fire because of some senseless gang violence that you nor they had anything to do with. 2 men responsible for the mistaken arson attack were sentenced to 35 and 25 years minimum, while 6
know they
others were sentenced to manslaughter. Shadow was also
Wow.
found guilty for the murder of Ants and was sentenced to 22 years. You see,
These
from
niggas-
one altercation on Kent Road between Shadow and Ants, and look at the impact it had on
These
many
niggas are getting
lives,
football
both
numbers.
civilians and gang members. Come 2015, and things changed in Enfield. Them Africans were no longer a thing, and a new generation replaced them. 900 came into play. A1 from the 9, a notorious member who later became a pioneer in the UK drill scene, would rep them. Original 9 boys would also appear. Another gang that came into play, notorious member Tion Wayne, who would also soon make a name for himself musically, rep them. The same thing with GMG. Fresh new talent were emerging, such as Pokey, the creator of the Anything Green Get Bun trend that you now see OFB adopt. He'll later also drop some big drill classics, and his rivalry with A1 from the 9 became viral. The beef with GMG continued as usual. We thank God that despite this, from then until
But I got
today,
indicted.
no one has died from these 2 sworn rivals going at it. Sadly, despite this fact, lives were still lost to some of the most brutal and strange circumstances. Forward to 2016, it was business as usual for Chaos and Ninja. They run a lucrative drug business in North London and were making serious money. Police threw a spanner in their works when Chaos was convicted on the 15th of July 2016 for plotting to transfer a Scorpion submachine gun and a pistol. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Unfortunately, just after a few months, on 18th of October 2016, Chaos had a row of a Congolese man over a package that contained drugs and phones on G-Wing. During the argument, Chaos was heard saying, "Listen, if you want war, I'll give you war." The following day, 3 men approached Chaos. Despite Chaos being armed with a knife, he was outnumbered.
That's a
Died
fact.
fatally and then thrown over the railing of a 5th floor landing.
Damn.
The sad thing is, Chaos had just become a father. The 3 men involved
They
were tried and
violated.
caught for murder, where they brought up the fact Chaos had a knife, his gang history of being involved in the murder of niggas, and a list of other charges throughout his life to vilify him as a dangerous man. This swung the jury, and in doing so, all 3 men were acquitted of murder. This was the
Wow. Oh, so they snitching. So they snitched on him. That's what I'm saying, bro. These niggas is killing niggas, and then they dead ass beating the bodies, bro. Niggas is getting Grammys in London, bro. That ass, bro. This shit is crazy. And they threw him over the railing. Oh, wait, this was in jail. Oh, okay. This was in jail.
second time a GMG member had lost a brother in the beef. Come 2017, Ninja was the boss of AP, which stood for Albany Park. United, the Allied Hood, and was dubbed the landlord. He was also a bona fide millionaire who would for some reason stick around the ends, riding in his luxury cars and overseeing things. Prominent AP members included Django, Skiz, Skanks, etc. Tiny, the guy who beat the chicken murder, would also become a boss and form 3x3. He was in control of a new generation of youngsters who were desperate to make a name for themselves. A1 from the 9 would be caught with a knife and sentenced to 2 years in prison, and after that he was unjustly deported to the country he was born in, Germany. The justice system thought it was fair to throw a man in a country where according to him he had no friends, family, and didn't even speak the native language on the pretext that he was dangerous. Now come the end of the year, Skanks had been using one of his fiends' houses as a bando. On December 21st, 2017, Skanks was sleeping in a bando. The fiend was itching for drugs knowing he didn't have any money. Skanks had drugs as well as money on him. While Skanks peacefully slept, the man whacked him with a hammer. This didn't finish off Skanks, so he ran into the kitchen, came back with a 60-centimeter long knife and repeatedly stabbed Skanks until he died.
Damn.
He took the drugs and money and proceeded to wrap his body in a black and red duvet with plastic bags over his head. He then
These niggas is wildin'.
placed the body in a loft. Skank's family contacted the police after he had been missing for a while. Not only was the young man brutally murdered, but his body had been hidden, which put Skank's family through the anguish of not knowing where he was. It was the hope that kept them up at night. Now, anyone who has ever seen street videos and those who deal with fiends, you always see them get very violent with them. We've all come across these videos feeling sorry for them, but maybe there's method in the madness. Maybe it's these antics that creates fear in the fiend's head that will stop him from attacking.
I'm not gonna lie, you can't fuck with no fiends, bro. That's the thing. You can't fuck with no fiends, bro. You don't know what they're capable of doing, bro. This is why you do not ever underestimate nobody. I don't give a fuck. You could be a fiend. You could be a fucking crackhead. You could be a homeless person. Or type, bro. I don't ever underestimate nobody, bro. You don't know what they'll do to you, bro. For real.
Attacking you, or even the idea of ever coming across
He
their mind.
violated Skank.
Few things are more dangerous than a fiend who needs his fix. Mr. Hopkins, the fiend that brutally killed Skanks, later to threaten to kill another drug dealer, saying, "I've done it before, he's in the loft." His big mouth will get him caught. After 8 months, a tip from a friend of Hopkins would allow the police to inspect his house, where he would find Skanks' body.
JJ's.
Damn.
JJ's.
It was in a condition where it was badly decomposed and infested with insects.
JJ's.
Mr. Hopkins was found guilty of murder. This was the second time a GMG AP member died in brutal fashion, and the second time he had nothing to do with the Edmonton Ops.
Damn.
Over the next few years, a new generation of AP and 3x3 members were scoring on each other. Thankfully, nothing fatal occurred. However, on the 19th of March 2020, Abdullahi Mahmood aka Ninja walked into Bagel King in Enfield to buy some food. Present in the shop with him were Django, K1 and T-Rose. However, what he didn't know was the location was given to TJ, who repped Southgate. See, Southgate is a set that had no connection to their ops Edmonton. In fact, it said they had growing tension with Ninja's ops. Many believed TJ had personal beef with Ninja. Some speculated he wanted to take Ninja's lucrative position. See, Ninja was known as the landlord for a reason. Outside of respect from his hood, he was linked to some big boy drug importers. It's rumored that he even caught a body with some of them. TJ entered the Bagel King with a pistol, instantly fired 4 shots which missed his targets.
Shit.
Ninja attempted to flee through the back door of the restaurant and into the large yards of garages to try and escape. Ninja and his friends attempted to scale a wall. TJ followed and fired 1 last shot which went through Ninja's arm and straight into his forehead.
Fuck.
Despite this, Ninja had enough adrenaline to scale another wall before he eventually collapsed on the floor.
How, wait, what? How is that even possible? How the fuck? How did they travel like that?
TJ looked over the wall and aimed the gun at Ninja's friends, but decided not to shoot, and he made his way back from the front of the shop. Medics attempted to save Ninja, but despite their best efforts, he died in hospital.
Damn.
In a bid to provide himself with an alibi, TJ had phoned his friend Alex and kept the line open during the period of the shooting. Police saw through this later though into the investigation and charged his friend with attempting to pervert the court of justice.
What?
TJ was sentenced to 27 years minimum in prison.
Wow.
This death was a huge blow to AP. Their boss who united their ends was gone, and once again they lost a member. Tiny, the guy who witnessed the death of Chicken all the way back in 2013, would have issues with a man named Christopher George. Some speculate and claim it was regarding money issues, but this could be a case of Chinese whispers. Whatever the case was, on the 29th of July 2020, Tiny and 3 members would spot Christopher on 4th Street and had followed him in 2 vehicles, an Audi and a BMW, watching him for a period of time until Roshane Watson, aka Tiny, would shoot him in the chest at close range. Detectives from the Met Specialist Crime Command Unit spent hours trawling CCTV footage, leading them to suspect Watson. He was seen wearing the same tracksuit as the murder as he wore in a drill music video that had been uploaded to YouTube in the previous month. He was also caught wearing the same tracksuit on CCTV the day before the murder.
Dickhead.
And a body-worn video from a police stop on July 9th showed he was
They
wearing
got
the same
32
trainers
for
as the
that.
gunman. Tiny was found guilty and sentenced to 32 years. See, the thing about the street is the unpredictability of it. You are truly rolling the dice, but the stakes are your life. How many murders and lives lost in everything I documented when only 2 of the lives lost were by their actual ops? See, if your ops don't get you, someone who wants your position could. The police could gun you down for their own safety. Even your own friends could. And if you don't die, the system could take you for life. I'm sending my condolences to all the family of everyone I mentioned who's not here.
Rest in peace to
today.
everybody.
As always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe as it goes a long way. More of these are pending. Also follow me on Instagram, and a special mention to MDN for always supporting. Give that boy a follow. Skyboy out.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is just wow. Wow.